Hello there. Our story is Koala Lou. You can look at this front cover and look at the illustration. You can tell it's probably about koalas. The title might have given you a hint to that too, huh? I wonder which koala is Koala Lou. We'll have to read and find out. This story was written by Mem Fox. She's the author. She wrote the book. And it was illustrated by Pamela Lofts. So we know the illustrator draws the pictures. We've been practicing being an illustrator. Koala Lou. There once was a baby koala so soft and round that all who saw her loved her. Her name was Koala Lou. The emu loved her. The platypus loved her. And even tough little koala claws next door loved her. But it was her mother who loved her most of all. 100 times a day she would laugh and shake her head and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Whenever she stretched in the early morning sun or climbed a gum tree or bravely went down the path all by herself, her mother would smile and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Here she goes. 3 years passed and other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Koala Lou. Soon, her mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Koala Lou that she loved her. Although, of course, she did. You can see Koala Lou looks pretty sad over there. I wonder what she's feeling. Every night as she curled up under the stars, Koala Lou thought about the times when her mother looked at her and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you." And she longed for her to say it again. One night, Koala Lou had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for a Bush Olympics. She would enter the Olympics. She would compete in the gum tree climbing event, and she would win. And her mother would fling her arms around her neck and say again, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Koala Lou began her training right away. She jogged and puffed and lifted weights and panted. She hung from a branch with one claw at a time until she ached. She did push-ups till her stomach hurt. And last of all, she climbed the tallest tree that she could find over and over and over again. I think I skipped a page. There it is. Sometimes her mother would watch her and ask, "How are you doing, Blossom?" "Fine, just fine," Koala Lou would reply. Look at her way up that tree. Oh my goodness. At last, the day of the Bush Olympics arrived. That looks exciting. Koala Claus had also entered the gum tree climbing event, and everyone knew how fast she was. But Koala Lou wasn't scared. She saw her mother in the crowd and imagined her saying again, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Her heart filled with hope. It was Koala Claus who went first. Her climb was a record-breaking 22 meters in 70 seconds flat. The spectators whistled and cheered and wildly waved their party hats. "Can I do better than that?" wondered Koala Lou. "I must." As she stepped towards the tree, a hush fell over the crowd. "On your mark," said the kookaburra. "Get set. Go!" Koala Lou leapt onto the tree. Up and up and up she climbed, higher and higher and higher, faster and faster and faster until there she was, right at the very top. The spectators roared and clapped and stomped their feet. Do you think she did it? Did she beat Koala Claus? She wasn't fast enough. In spite of all of her training and all of her hoping, it was Koala Claus who won the gum tree climbing. Koala Lou came second. Koala Lou went off and hid. She heard the shouts of the Bush Olympics and cried her heart out. She's so disappointed, isn't she? When the first stars of evening appeared in the sky, Koala Lou crept home through the dark and up into the gum tree. Her mother was waiting for her. Before she could say a word, her mother flung her arms around her neck and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you. I always have and I always will." And she hugged her for a very long time. So Koala Lou worked and worked and worked, but she didn't win. But her mother knew, you are amazing anyway, right? You're yourself and I love you. I hope you enjoyed that.